I don't know what that. Brandi Jo Show. Let me just share this on my other channels real quick. Welcome to the new season of the Brandi Jo Show, and we're doing things not perfect this season. I had an epiphany the other day that it doesn't need to be perfect all the time. We can be prepared, just like I'm prepared for this morning, getting in the car. I wanted to do this on the way to work, on the way to the office. I don't really believe that I work. Um, and how do I share? There we go. The end all be all of why I do this podcast is to share what I've learned. That is what any podcast is here to do. I've been talking to some of our members in Athene, some of our members on the Best of Blue team that we're still building. I am actually going to talk this morning to my partner Brent White with Boss Engineering, Boss, Boss BOSS Business Owner Solution Strategy, Boss Financial Group about putting together a podcast. And I think that a podcast can be a catalog of all things that you're sharing with the world. So it is my pleasure to bring you the things that I've learned. And we're going to start off with the most ironic thing that I learned over the weekend. And I want to preface, and this is the truth, and people question me all the time. Given the fact that I was heavily involved in Republican politics, now I consider myself an independent conservative. I am a Trump fan. I'm not a Trump follower, but I'm a Trump fan. I think that he can do better than obviously what the last administration has done. So over the weekend, if you haven't heard already, Biden pardoned his son on multiple counts of criminal activity that he was convicted for. Um, tax tax evasion, something to do with taxes, and also firearm charges. And in his statement, and I read the statement, and I also, the only reason that I know this is because it came on during whatever we were watching on television last night. And I was like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? So that just tells me right there that there are certain people on this planet, and I'm not going to call names, I'm not going to say which side or whatever, but there are certain people on this planet that just don't care about the truth. And they don't care about being consistent with themselves, quite frankly. And that's the thing that I've been really focused on going into 2025 is to just be consistent with my word, consistent with my activities, and consistent in the way that I approach people and then the way that I communicate. I mean, what was it like 2 years ago? It was, I am not going, when he was under fire for not coming to his son's rescue, that he said that he wasn't going to, he said that he was never going to pardon his son. But here's what I really want to understand from the upper, I would say because there is a group, I believe that there is a group of people that run the world, and not run the world, but have serious influence over what we read, what we see, and sometimes I just can't believe it. And the fact of the matter is, it's crazy how we live in this world, and I myself am totally guilty, that I see something, and first off, I don't believe it. And I'm like, can that actually be true? Like some of this stuff on LinkedIn, like some of these stories, I'm like, is that a real story? That just, it boggles my mind, because nothing like that, I've never experienced anything like that. Some of these very descriptive, salacious, oh my God, tragic stories. And I've dealt with some tragedy in my life, but it's like, is that real? And this is the thing that came to me this morning. Are we acting our way through our life? The biggest issue that I see with the way that the world is that we're so, I guess, down in the muck or stuck in our little bubble lives. And this is coming to you from the bubble. I haven't even put the car in reverse to actually go to work yet. That we are so stuck in our bubble lives that we don't even feel called to do anything about it. And at one point in my life, I did, and now I just say things, and I really don't do anything about it. Like when I started the pack 2 years ago with my friend Laura, we were doing something to make a point, and we did. We made our point, and now we're on to bigger and better things. We're no longer mired down in the muckety muck of the right. Now I believe from myself, after starting a theme earlier this year, that I am amongst the middle. And I have had some of the best conversations and some of the best conversations with some of the most conservative people that I've ever met in my life. And they just happen to be on the other side of the aisle. So here's the thing that I want to hammer home this morning is that we just look at things and we don't even rubberneck anymore. It's like, oh, okay, somebody's over there, setting themselves on fire. And we're like, oh, okay, that's it. And we're like, how long is that going to last in the news cycle? That's the crazy thing. Oh my God, I just got an email from the National Federation of Republican Women. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm I'm actually getting over a cold, and that's why I have this little scratchy throat. I don't know what that is. Okay, so with all this being said, and you can tell in the tagline, we're going to talk about money, we're going to talk about lifestyle, and we're going to talk about happiness. And literally, we're just going to talk about what I've experienced in the last week, given that it was Thanksgiving week. It was kind of a down week. And I started off the week with a little bit of a cold. As you can tell, I'm still kind of getting over it. And horrible cough going around. Several of my friends had it. And what was funny was that I was still raring to go to work, ready to produce, and then nothing was happening. And again, going into 2025, I want to be consistent in what I do. I want to have a consistent schedule. I want to have a consistent way that I go about my business. One of the things that is most important to me to be consistent is to host the Athene Luncheon, which is the first Wednesday of every month. Whether it's big or small, I am going to have lunch with a group of ladies. I'm trying to cut across Austin Highway against 6 lanes of traffic, so just a little patience. So to level up, and this Wednesday it is going to be a extremely small crowd. And I want to point out something that okay, I need some air in my tires because it's a little chilly this morning. And I want to point out something that you have to have things put in place, obviously ahead of time, for things to be successful. And one of the things that happened during November was just realizing that whatever happens is whatever happens. The the most important thing that you want to do, I think, in business, in order to make money, and not the, well, let me say this, in order to make the most amount of money in business, you have to be consistent and you have to be persistent. One of the things in the life insurance business, in our contracts that we have with our reps and our agents, is the persistency of how well they close business and how well they close business on a consistent basis. And that is their persistency rating. So when you have somebody that has a I would say, foolproof process. And I really hope that this isn't going through the media. I really hope this isn't going through the phone or going through the Wi-Fi. So you want to maintain a consistent persistency and be persistent in your consistency. That's a lot, isn't it? That's sounds kind of stupid, but that is what is really resonating with me. That come hell or high water, I'm going to have this luncheon on Wednesday, and it may be 4 people. It may be me and 3 other people, and my partner and I are we're actually recording our panel discussion. So in this first Wednesday Athene monthly luncheon, we have a panel that I host and I moderate. This is a little bit different, just a tiny bit different. I am still moderating, but I myself is being interviewed by my partner, Amy House. And as of this morning, we have, I think, 7 people signed up for it, which is totally fine and totally understandable because it is the holiday season. We're on a short runway from Thanksgiving. We're starting to feel the pressure of the end of the year. You have some people that are like me that just want to just like accelerate into 2025. We want to be hitting the ground running when it comes to 2025. And what I did, I took a little poll on my Instagram that, let me take a sip of coffee. That's a little more. I took a poll on my Instagram. Are you waiting, preparing, or accelerating into 2025? Everybody that responded to that poll said, I am accelerating. They're not planning. They've already done it. They're already rolling. The new year does come into play with the way that their revenue and their cash flow works, but it doesn't really come into play with the consistency of their marketing, their branding, their process, their lead gen, all of that. There was one lady that she responded with, what do you mean? And then I go and I look at her profile, and she is a business owner. I was like, what do you mean? What do I mean? Are you ready to go? Or are you waiting to go? Or are you preparing to go? I mean, so I didn't respond to that. But those are the kinds of things that hit me when I'm like, wait a minute, how do you not understand what I'm asking when you're a business owner? And the funny thing about it is that some people that believe they're in business, they're not in business. They're not in the business of development of themselves. They're not in the business of providing value for their audience, their following, their customer base, their market. And so, and quite frankly, I look at them as hobbyists, not business owners. I was referred to a young lady last week. I could not talk. And it was the first phone call that I had on Tuesday. I literally could not talk, and it was not pleasant. And excuse me. And it was, I was not selling. That's not. So when someone gets on a call with me as a referral, we just have what I call a discovery conversation, which is, what is it that you want to do? Where do you see yourself going? And what is the time frame? This particular young lady is not starting in a new industry. She is going independent from an existing position that she has. And she has the blessing of her employer. And I think it's amazing, and I think it's heartfelt, and I think it's the way that, quite frankly, capitalism is supposed to work, is that you're supposed to spread the love, spread the prosperity around, bring these people into the fold, develop them, teach them something, and then let them go off on their own. I have not had very many employees in my day, but I have had a lot of mentees, and I want to see them go off and build their own teams. And that is just something, I don't know if that's something that's in me naturally, or that it is just something that I have in me, but it's also something that was developed in me with the mentor that I had. That you want to have people come um, into your sphere, and whether they're a mentee, whether you're their mentor or whatever, you want to have them develop and grow and go on to bigger and better things. I want people to be more successful and better at what I do. I am the best at what I do, and I don't believe that I've reached my maximum potential. So if somebody else can come in and understand the understand what it is, what the actual fabric of what it is that we're trying to do at BrandiJoNewman.com, at Boss Financial Group, in the theme, Best of Blue, in all of these areas, it is solely about the development of the person that wants to take on the challenge of sharing value. Obviously, at Boss Financial Group, we work with small business owners. Obviously, with Athene, we work with women that are ready to level up. And obviously, at Best of Blue and BrandiJoNewman.com, we work with realtors and entrepreneurs that are not only ready to have a consistent cash flow, a consistent income, but that they can also bring their own team with them. So, looking back, I'm going to go back to last week. Looking back over last week, I learned a lot because I couldn't talk. I learned a lot just listening and texting and, reading the words that people, and also having the time to really sit down and really text. That, you bring that inside and you process it. And I'm a quick processor, to my wife's aggravation, that you're able to process these words and you're able to really listen to what people are truly saying. Excuse me. Once a week, I try to really set a tone and set a pace for what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And the bottom line of what we're trying to accomplish, and I know that I've said this probably 16 different ways to Sunday during this one live on YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, is the bottom line of what we're trying to accomplish is to improve people's lives on a daily basis, share the value that we have in order for them to have a worry-free life. So in the tagline, money, lifestyle, and happiness, all of those things require to be on this perpetual journey. There is no destination to any of those things. Some people might think that retirement is a destination. Let me tell you the truth on this. Retirement is not a destination. Retirement is just another chapter. And quite frankly, retirement is when either a body of people say that it's time for you to retire and we're going to give you money until you're dead, or when you have enough assets that spin off enough income for you to live comfortably, safely, and securely until you're dead. And that lifestyle is a continuous It's a continuous change. For the last 2 months, I didn't play golf. I didn't pick up a golf club. I tested my elbow. Excuse me. I tested my elbow probably 3 weeks ago and was not ready. And then Saturday, Claire and I played 15 holes. We practiced for about an hour, and I was ready to get back to the game because I had recovered from an injury. Now, golf is back into my weekly routine, if not daily routine. Practice Saturday, practice yesterday, probably going to pick up a club today, make some swings. That's my lifestyle. And frankly, with the fact that I have switched gears into slower mornings, not picking up the phone until probably 30, 45 minutes into my day, that it gets, well, I should say this, not picking up the phone and checking email, communicating with people. I will post when I wake up on Instagram, and I'll have a little quote or a saying or provide a link or something like that. This morning it was 4:05. So sidebar, I wake up between 3:45 and 4:30 consistently. And I think it's because I just say that I do. And so I have, in a sense, manifested that. Some people don't like the woo-woo manifestation, but I'll tell you what, it's real. The woo-woo is real. Another sip. Oh, that's so good. Kind of forgot where it was going. The lifestyle, sorry, with these slower mornings that I have now, let me get this lane. With these slower mornings that I have now, I'm able to not feel like I'm behind the gun or I'm in front of the gun. No, in front of the gun. That there's not somebody bearing down on me to say, you've got to get this done. Because what we've done as a team, we have figured out the phone. We have figured out email. We have figured out lead generation from social media. We have figured out lead generation from targeted business owners. If you're on LinkedIn and if you get a LinkedIn message from me, I just want to say this right now. It's me. It is not a bot. It is me. I am sitting there either at my desk, on my laptop, on my phone, sending you a LinkedIn message about how it is that I can help you resolve your employee and some of your overhead expenses. And it's me. It is not a bot. If you get a message from me, and this is the other thing that I've done in the last week. Last week I got rid of, I shouldn't say it that way. Last week I have reassigned my marketing team, my VA marketing team. And no longer will they be reaching out to people on Instagram. It will be me. It will only be me. And the reason that I did that is because I think sometimes people don't believe that you're real. I had a candid conversation with a highly successful small business owner. He employs about 60 people. He lives in Canada. He does have businesses here in America. And this guy makes, I shouldn't say that he is bringing in over $100 million a year from various placements and investments. And he is not running anything but his brand. I'll say that. But one of the things that we talked about together was the fact that somehow, some way in the last 10 years, we've kind of walled ourselves off from the real people. And the over scheduling or the boundaries that we've set I'll take a phone call anytime. If the phone is turned up and I see that the phone is ringing, I answer the phone. If I am not engaged in conversation or I'm not doing something else, I will answer the phone. I will also answer every single solitary text that has context to it. I'm not going to respond to a hey or a hi or whatever, especially if you're not in my contacts. So there's something to be said about connecting with your market. And I think that's what gives us this feeling of happiness. And because happiness is not something that you can touch, it's something that you can feel, but you cannot touch it. And so happiness is this perpetual journey. But I also believe, and this is hopefully what I'm going to end with in case I get too rambling. Happiness is this endless pursuit of security with an emphasis on just feeling safe, being happy in the moment, and love and respect. But I also believe that it's your choice to be happy wherever you are on the planet. I have this insatiable natural ability to just be happy with whatever comes. I may get irate, especially at the people at Chase last week that were holding up my money, or 2 weeks ago. They were trying to tell me that the third largest credit card processor on the planet had insufficient funds. And I was like, are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that I've been transferred to 9 different people and you're the 9th person on this freaking phone call that is now going to tell me that and I'm not, well, I'll say it. She says in a foreign tone, I might add, which is aggravating to me, not happy with that at all, that Stripe had potentially insufficient funds. And I asked her specifically, I said, are you saying that my personal Stripe account has insufficient funds? She says, no, the processor Stripe has the threat of insufficient funds. And so they're going to hold the money for like 10 days. And I said, oh, no, you're not. That right there, in and of itself, that little moment right there, I was not happy. Obviously, I was not happy. But when it comes to like little things, like with the luncheon on Wednesday, I'm not happy that the numbers are not as great as they once were. I am not happy. But let's say this. I am happy that I'm going to have a luncheon. And however that luncheon goes off is however that luncheon goes off. But I also don't think that you need to get mired down in the muckety muck of the what could have been, or it should be this. And don't you want to wait? No, I don't want to wait. I want to be consistent. I want my brand, I want my name, I want my word to be consistent. And I think in the end, that is going to make me a happier person. It's like, I'm a pretty happy person. And I'm not very judgy. I was given that compliment yesterday by my good friend Brandi Jo that I hadn't seen in a few months. He looks good. He won the senior San Antonio Open last weekend. And I was telling him how I did not like this particular golf course. And he says, just give it a try. They've redesigned it. He's like, I think you're really going to like it. And I said, okay, because I am snobby when it comes to golf courses. And he says, you're not judgy at all. I said, no. I said, not about people, but golf courses. I am super, super judgy on golf courses. So here's the thing that I want to knock home with this live. And hopefully I've hit on each of those things: money, lifestyle, and happiness. Money is not the end all be all. And I think it was, I don't know, it might have been it was Jim Rohn, that money can't buy you happiness, And money isn't the end all be all, but it is kind of right up there with air. We have to have an income, an exchange of value that can protect us, that can give us opportunity, and that can hopefully give us a base of safety and security to where we can take a little bit more risk and that we can take advantage of some of the opportunities in the market. When it comes to lifestyle, here's the thing I want you to ask yourself this morning. Do you have a lifestyle, and what is your lifestyle? My lifestyle is I want to experience things. I don't want to hoard money. I don't want to hoard cash. I don't want to um, I do not have a scarcity mindset whatsoever. I have a hugely abundant mindset. I believe that the more you give away, the more you give back, and I am a living testimony of that because I give a lot of money away and I get a lot back. So with that lifestyle choice, there's another little paradigm. And this big 18-wheeler is just going to pull right in front of me. That's fine. Me tienda. And then when it comes to, so hold on, let me bracket that off. Lifestyle, I want you to understand every day is a choice to have a better lifestyle, to have a lifestyle that is going to bring you the happiness that you deserve. So with that, I'm actually here at the office. I am gonna actually move this into our podcast studio at a later date. Hopefully have an audio producer, a video producer, all of those technical things coming in 2025. So I want to thank all of these people that were on here with me. I love it. I can't read any of the comments because I can't see anything. Still can't see. Okay, so that was good. That was 32 minutes. So thank you for joining me on the new season of the Brandi Jo Show. We'll see you later. How do we do this?